Aries. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing something different. It's a tarot scope and an astrological forecast within the reading. I'm drawing a card for each month of the year. And at the end of the reading and the astrological and tarot assessment, I'll be drawing an angel card for the year and an animal card for you. And thank you for joining me and for subscribing to this session. This is a very unique reading that I do in the month of January for my clients if they should ask for it. January, February, March, April, May, and June. January, Three of Wands reversed. February, Queen of Coins. March, Wheel of Fortune reversed. April, Page of Cups. May, Nine of Wands. And June, Justice. July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so January, Three of Wands reversed. This is an answer that requires a no from you to move forward at this time, perhaps with travel or with something creative that you are investing your time in. And there is the full moon on the 1st in the 4th house of home, and on the 31st, the total full moon lunar eclipse brings closure to the 5th house of creativity for you. And the Three of Wands means you either completed a series of 3 projects or you are not feeling replenished right now from a current investment, creative, or what you're passionate about. Maybe even someone you're dating, because it is passion, attraction, the wands. And the full moon eclipse, which turns a lot upside down in January, could see you close the door on a romantic relationship, something lighthearted in the 5th house of true love and romance. The Queen of Coins in February, this is an earth sign female, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It's also the highest elevation of earnings, one of them next to the King, in the suit of coins. Tangible security, income, your profession, what you're earning. In February, we have our new moon solar eclipse at 27 degrees of Aquarius in the 11th house of hopes and wishes. This is new energy, and this is an upright card. And this queen is determined. So I feel like your work is going to pick up heavily. What you had put on hold in January can push forward in February, highly. Now, in March, the Wheel of Fortune reversed also suggests it's not the right time or timing to push forward right now. February is yes. March is also lay off the gas until at least the 20th, the cardinal energy of the first day of spring. Oh, I see. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, the planet Jupiter in the Tarot. And in March, Jupiter retrogrades, the planet of luck and that positive timing. And when Jupiter and Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrogrades on the March 8th and Mercury retrogrades on March 22nd. Jupiter is reversed, which is why the Wheel of Fortune is coming out that way. And I wouldn't be surprised if this pops up in this position for other readings. But it doesn't mean bad luck. It means just don't press forward as much at this time, and things will turn upright again. The wheel can only go upward and downward, and it just suggests a hold off. Spring is a catalyst energy, and then when Mercury is direct, in April, it's upright again. So if this is in terms of work or something that you are investing your time and energy in, January, February, March suggests, don't go as fast. You don't need to. Your energy is not required in that dynamic. And with Jupiter retrograde, it also suggests the timing isn't perfect right now for progress. April is the Page of Cups. This is a message. This is also the receipt of an invitation. It could also be a child. In April, Mercury goes direct at 4 degrees of Taurus in your second house of money. And this is a little bit of a work theme with the Queen of Coins present. It could also be that there's an earth sign that is giving birth in your life at that time in the month of April, or you find out about pregnancy in that month. Not really for you, because I'm getting it would involve this woman, if that applies to you. Now, all of these readings can't be specific for each individual. If you'd like a personal yearly reading with me, feel free to book. But the Page of Cups in April, Mercury direct, communications moving forward, finances picking up, the replenishment that's reversed up until then can be given back to you. And there's also an invitation, say yes to parties, say yes to invites and offerings. In May, 10 of Wands. This suggests a heavy workload, maybe even a burden, maybe too many creative endeavors on your plate. You went from relaxing, letting some of them go, completion, full moon eclipse, to, wait, my plate is full again. And the fire represented here, the highest fire card, the 10 of Wands in the numerical suit, Mars, the king of fire, is making a very big transit in May into the sign of Aquarius, but he remains there through November 16th. Heavy fire energy starts to occur in May, all the way through November. So this entire section is where your inspiration's about to come through. But right now, there's a burden on you. It could be a legal matter. It could also be that you have too many things in too many places to go, too many people inviting you, too many people pulling at you. And when Mars enters the 11th house for you, Aries, it's overwhelming social invites, friendships, social clubs, groups, who you're affiliated with. This could all start to become heavy on you and burdensome, but you're in control of all that. You can decide what's on your plate and what's not. It's just the feeling of that in May. So it's a busy, busy, active month. June, justice, Libra energy. What is fair? What is good? In June, Mars retrogrades in that energy here. So you might be thinking, you know, what am I getting off my plate? You could also be pursuing a settlement, property, legal, or business negotiation that's involving high figures or high people. And you're requiring what is right and what is fair to you. This could also be a Libra that is expecting a lot from you, Aries, and that is your polar opposite sign. In the relationship category, some of your marriages and contracts that you have in alignment with Libras, this in the 7th house, you could be going through settlement, divorce, wanting things to be fair between you for the sake of the kids. Reading this as a full interpretation and taking out the segmented month per month energy. Some of you got custody and want things to be more fair in equality and justice in the relationship. Heading into July, the moon, that's so fitting. We have our eclipses in July. Full moon, lunar energy. In July on the 12th, there's a new moon partial solar eclipse on the 12th of July at 20 degrees of Cancer, and there's also a full moon total lunar eclipse at 4 degrees of Aquarius. So, of course, the moon is present in July. August. Excellent. 9 of Coins. This is my favorite card in this deck next to the High Priestess. August, 9 of Coins. September. Oh my gosh. High Priestess. I just said that next to the High Priestess, and it's literally here. Amazing. I love this deck. No deck lies to me, but I really connect with the Morgan Greer. July, August, September, October. Oh my God, the sun. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. And these, when Mars is in that energy, in that sector of Aquarius for you, in the 11th house for so long, the second half of the year really picks up for Aries. Devil. Major Arcana cards. We'll get to this. This is a blessing that it's next to the sun. It overshines some of the oppressive and restrictive energy here. And the star, major, major. Look at this. Justice. First of all, we start with the Wheel of Fortune, major arcana. Justice, major arcana. The moon, the high priestess, the sun, the devil, the star. Hello. And look, the star, the sun, and the moon. This is such eclipse energy right here. I'm in love with this. Okay, so the moon. July, I went over the eclipses. New moon partial eclipse, 20 degrees of Cancer. In the 4th house of home, in your deepest emotions. Aries, you're feeling emotional. You are reminiscent. There is a nostalgic energy here, the return to home, the memories, all of that drama. Take it light in July, but this is a time to stir up energy for you. It's a catalyst time. And in between those two eclipses, the full moon total lunar eclipse at 4 degrees of Aquarius on the 27th of July as well, in between the 12th and the 27th, on the 26th, Mercury retrogrades. Reminisce of the love we had. I'm just hearing Mary J. Blige. I love it. And you remind me, wow, I'm getting a lot of Mary J. Blige. Maybe it's just this vibe right here. I'm loving this girl. You remind me. I love it. I'm hearing like a lot of R&B and emotions and going back. And maybe there's a connection here. July, August for you. And it could be literally someone you used to know. It could be that you are just intrigued at this time about what if, what could have been, etc. August. On the 11th, we have our new moon partial solar eclipse at 18 degrees of Leo in August. In your 5th house of entrepreneurial energy, children, creative endeavors, fun, leisure. The 9 of Coins is a leisurely money card. This queen is able to relax and eat the fruit that she bears and eat cheeses and drink wine and relax in her earnings. And underneath this Queen of Coins, some time has to go past first before it filters in. In the first chapter of the year, in the first 3 months, in the first quarter, it's, with the exception of February, things are a little bit up and down in January and March. But all of this is upright, okay? And you can reap reward from what is invested hardly and your hard work and your diligent energy. In February, across the wheel, there's manifestation for what you put in, and you've known it all along. In September, the equinox, the high priestess is present, and this is the quiet knowingness of your fortune. I'm hearing of your fortune. Look at this, the sun and the 9 of Coins. You are not as emotional as you are around the eclipse season. This isn't just your normal temperament. You are calmer in August. I get some more internal psychic energy as well. Retreating a little bit, vacation, relaxing from the work that was generated and came through. And you're taking some time around that mid-month from the eclipse energy. And you could retreat. You could just be private, hold some things private about what's invested or what you're investing in. Keep secret. Not everyone's meant to know what you've been through and your hard work. October, the sun. Success, happiness, warmth, relationship, marriage, connection, fulfillment. Mercury is direct in between these two cards, and in August going into September at 11 degrees in the 5th house. And there's complete closure around this time with the full moon on August 26th coming out of this energy. And on the 5th, Venus, 5th of October, Venus retrogrades at 10 degrees of Scorpio in the 8th house. There could be intimate connections. There could be still taking some time out, but really relaxing in relationship, getting to know someone, committing to them, establishing a connection and going deeper to engagement or marriage. There's a happiness here. And if you're not in a relationship, this could even be the success of business. The sun is the all-loving success, the life force, and everything that you put your energy into. Now, with all this success, and then with the beginning stages of the 9 of Coins, November brings some gluttony, and you need to put the brakes on overindulging, overspending, and maybe relaxing too much for a good 6-week period of time. So the card of Devil is present just to say, don't take for granted, don't take advantage, and also don't suppress yourself and don't limit yourself, but you have to establish balance, which is where the star comes in. You succeed in this. You surpass this energy. This is just November and Thanksgiving. You could be literally investing time in eating and drinking and being merry, and the Devil says just don't overdo it. And when Mercury retrogrades in November at 13 degrees of Sagittarius in your 9th house, of all of your experiences and what you're learning and your opinions about things and your belief systems, I feel like it could throw you off a little bit. November's a month where you have to watch your temperament and watch your tone. And it's not a month for travel, so you might feel restricted in your environment because Mercury retrograde in the 9th house limits you from travel abroad, and it's not the best time to do things in excess. Now, December, the star is ending on a hopeful tone for you. It's a hopeful year. The card of Aquarius, this is also Capricorn. The sun is some Leo energy, but the strength card is actually the card for Leo. But you could have some hope with an Aquarian. You also have Mars energy. Mars moves out of Aquarius here, and he's able to free himself up from that 5-month experience in your goals, hopes, friendship, clubs, social, dreams, all of that energy, what you want to achieve, and global excess and success, and the internet, and astrology, all of that is 11th house. That's what you've been succeeding in, all of your goals and what you wanted to achieve. You have success at this point, but don't overdo it, and be hopeful about what's to come. Peace, tranquility, balance. It's all very important for the year. I'm drawing an angel card for you for the year for Aries. Astara, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. Well, this is actually where I drew my slogan, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars. When people say the sky is the limit, that irritates me. The sky is not the limit. It goes beyond that. It's limitless. So I feel like Aries, you're the ruler of the zodiac. You know this. You can shoot for, the moon and beyond. This is your animal card for the year. Salmon, interesting. Swimming upstream. Mercury retrograde will affect you this year. And it's number 49 in numerology. That's a number 4. If you add these numbers together and then you add that number, Don't make things difficult for yourself purposely. Sometimes the message I'm getting with this is sometimes you don't have to take the road less traveled. And sometimes you don't have to take the long way home. Oh, I'm getting all of these like little idioms here. Sometimes to get from A to Z, you just have to go from A to B. Just basically don't make things harder on yourself if you don't have to. And look at this. The 10 of Wands above this devil energy. This is binding, restriction. You know, you're taking the longest time to do something, you're procrastinating, you're making things harder for yourself. So in these months, November and May, release your burdens here. Don't mentally suggest it's harder than it needs to be. And don't immediately put that stamp on it. Let me read a little bit of Salmon for you. That was my interpretation immediately just from the medium messages I get. And just to let you know, if you like how I am reading this vibe, please check out my medium messages on VIMEO on demand. It's just the tarot that I focus on like this, and I give very different readings when I'm not focused so much on the astrology. But I love both, so I'm incorporating both. Salmon represents wisdom and inner knowing. High Priestess, inner knowing. Salmon is the sacred keeper of wisdom and inner knowing who, despite strong rivers' currents, will always return to the place of its creation. Home, that fourth house that I mentioned. Its determination is driven by the wisdom of instinct and inner knowing, which yields a sense of purpose that cannot be thwarted by external forces. Coming full circle, Salmon medicine people finish what they begin, bringing life's events and cycles to closure. It's interesting because on the 1st of January, we start with the full moon in Cancer at 11 degrees. And on December 22nd, we end with the full moon at 0 degrees of Cancer in your 4th house of home. So you start and finish the year with full moon in Cancer. We all do, but for you, it's the 4th house of inner knowingness. Salmon, 4th house of Salmon, not really, but it's the place that you call home, your soul. Thank you so much. I'm wishing you a beautiful new year. And remember, Aries, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.